okay? So Joel throws jab, and my hands are just up, a little bit of movement, and I should be able to easily deflect this without making a major muscle move, okay? Now, in the old days, we did some pretty outlandish big movements, right? And it was really to kind of illustrate a point and to develop the body and ultimately preserve a tradition. So if Joel goes throw the jab, I would have to figure out how I'm going to knock this out of the way or knock it out of the way here. Ironically, I found this block, the traditional block, to be the same as this. It's just shorter and more, we just conserve the motion, if that makes sense. All right? So kind of think about, we're not really throwing out all the old traditions. What we are doing is refining, making them more efficient. So we're going to start here, and Joel's going to get closer, then he can hit me right in the face. Bop! Right? And if I don't move, I have to make a block one way or the other. If he throws the 1-2, it should be just this way. And I really shouldn't be a lot of heavy resistance. His hands can only go but so far, and then they're deflected. It's pretty easy to do. So just stand here close, let it measure up so he can hit you, right? And then, as it's coming in, you pick up the distance and the timing, right? Right? It's just super simple. Now, he should be really trying to get that right on my chin, and if I don't block, he shouldn't bop me. Does that make sense? Shouldn't nail me hard. Static defense. Static defense. Super simple. Get apart. I use this, right? I use this when I really, really want somebody to think I got him. I mean, he's not moving. He's going to stand there like a stump and let me just nail him. This is what I use. All right. So, if I've chosen to stand there, number one, I'm accepting that I might take some hits, right? But do I want to hold my position? I want to stay in the pocket. He throws jab cross, and I make this move, and look, this to this sets up that. That just makes sense. Does that kind of go together nicely? All right, so let's say that I don't want to stand strong in static defense. I want to be a little bit more on my feet. I want to use my footwork. Now, when the punch comes, he can still hit me, and I can either head movement slightly or parry block it slightly or some combination of both. So he throws the jab, and I just kind of pat it away. It's really not too tricky. He throws the jab cross, it's the same thing, right? A little bit of footwork. If I miss, bop, he should be in the range to hit me. But the great thing about the footwork is even if I miss this, I should be slightly out of range. We're using footwork to manage our distance. And in a purely defensive sense, the advantage he has is that coming forward is always faster than going backwards. So he's got an advantage of he can get to me. But I should be able to really hold him off when he's jabbing and crossing over and over and he's really trying to get in as I angle, right? I should be able to move. And it really is difficult to chase this person down, not impossible. But my advantage is a little head movement, a little parry blocking, and then some footwork makes the difference. Give that a try. So do I. I love this. I do a lot of this. The reason that I like this is he knows if I'm standing strong here and he throws the jab cross and doesn't hit me and I hit him, he knows I'm holding my ground. His next series might be a little more cautious. But I want to give him some baits. I want to lure him in. So he goes to punch me and he doesn't get a lot of resistance. You know, I'm kind of here. This one is going to be kind of loose and fast. So I should be just a little bit more elusive. And I might give up a little bit of my power in my stance by being on my toes and kind of fading away, but I should be able to get the counter punch, in my opinion, easier. Okay? All right. For those straight punches, I think that will do mostly what we need. However, I could also use just head movement. He throws a jab, and I can slip, right? I can hold the shoulder up for the cross. We talked about this a lot. I can duck under the cross. He comes with the hook. I can duck under the hook. So we can do head movement. Who uses head movement? All right, here's what I want us to do. Nice and slow, I'm going to feed him jab, cross, hook. And I'm doing it slow. I'm not trying to trick him, right, Sarah? Not trying to trick anybody. I'm trying to give him an opportunity to work. Right? So I'm going to go right for shin, jab, cross, hook. Then I'm going to reset. If I do this, that's what Sarah does. She likes to trick people, right? And she's evil. I'm kidding. The thing is we want to give them something definitive to work with. Bop, bop, right? And if he doesn't move for some reason, we should be bopping him, right? But 1, he throws the shoulder up a little bit. That makes sense. Now, I throw this hook. He's got to figure out how he's going to get past that. And then I reset. Let's do that. Nice and slow. Especially Sarah. Go. All right, let me ask you a question. He's throwing jab cross and I'm doing this. Does that even make sense? No. Don't need to do head movement, I'm out of range. So what's the advantage of being in range? Okay, I'm holding my position so that I don't have to re-engage. So he throws jab and I move to here. Now I got to come all the way back to here to make my counter punch. He throws jab and I move here. Well, number 1 is I can come over and I can hit here, right? I can come over the top and I can hit here, right? I'm there. I don't really have to make a new adjustment. I should be faster on the counter punch because I don't require movement. So if he throws jab and I do this, then he throws cross and I do this, I've wasted a whole bunch of motion. Okay? If he throws jab and I'm out here, why don't I just kick him? Then that makes sense. Okay? So I want to be here. He throws jab, 1, pow! Right? He throws jab cross, 1, 2, pow! Right? He throws jab cross hook, 1, 2, 3, pow, pow! Right? And I'm really just kind of working more than just my sound effects. I'm really working being on the inside, right? Do that. Get close. You're going slow. Don't be afraid. By the way, if I were to hit Joel while I'm training, right, it should be bop, bop. Right? Oh, he dodged that one nicely. Maybe he dodges the first one. He dodges the second one. And then I hit him with this one. It shouldn't be a knockout. It should be a lesson. Okay, yeah, I should have dug deeper. Go. My instruction in getting people to throw punches at you is this whole fear inoculation, pain inoculation thing, right? I'm going to tell you that this is not an easy thing to accomplish because the body wants to protect itself and the body throws a whole bunch of adrenaline into the system, dumps that in there, your heart rate increases, and you get a little bit anxious, right? You get a little nervy. So, Joel's going to come in, just put his hands up, and I'm just going to go up, 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 super light, so that he's kind of getting the feel for what's going on. Then it'll be his turn. I'm just going to kind of, notice I still tighten up wherever he's hitting. I'm just take a couple of hits. Super duper fun. By the way, it's not a challenge. We're not going to see who can hit the hardest yet. Right? Get with your partner. Take a few of these shots. You go, then I go. You go, I go. Okay. Cool. All right. At this point, we should now know, number 1, we can trust Paul. How do I know I can trust him? Because when we were doing it light, he didn't haul off and nail me. Kabloom. If he did haul off and nail me, then remember, your turn is next. All right? So here's what we're going to do at this point. I'm going to let Paul work his jab, right? And he gets to start hitting me with increasing difficulty until I say stop. If for some reason he doesn't hear me, I just pull my hands in and I start blocking, or I can move away. But as long as I'm willing to take the hit, he should, here's a 1, here's a 2, here's a 3, here's a 4, and he should be increasing that strike, just working the jab. By the way, he's welcome to hit me in the chest plate. That's going to hurt less. He can hit me in the solar plexus. That will hit more. He can hit me in the breadbasket, which is pretty good. If he hits me below the belt, it's hard to tighten up the lower abs leading down into the pubic area. So try to keep it around belt level if you can. He's going to work his jab. Ready? Let me at it. Thank you. So the thing that you should be thinking to yourself is, hold on. What if I'm fighting somebody Paul's size and he sticks me with the jab, and guess what? I took it. Suddenly confidence goes up. I'm worried about the jab hitting me in the face, but the jab to the body is an opportunity for me to counterpunch every single time. Now don't get me wrong, the best boxers in the world, they'll hit to the body and get you in the head. But it's almost always a distraction. Might hurt a little bit, but it's mostly a distraction to get the big one. It's a little bit different once you start engaging the right hand or the hook punch. Give the jab a try. Where's Josh? Come here, Josh. All right. So Josh is going to hit me with a very, very hard jab right in the body, and with the jab, sir, with the jab. He's like, can I hit you with the big hand? All right, go. All right, thank you, sir. Jeremy's going to come. This will be a different experience. All right, now I'm going to ask Jeremy to hit me 25, 50, 75, 100. That way, at least I have time to think about when he's a bigger dude. Shouldn't I assess his capability different than Josh? Yes. I just let Josh just hit me as hard as you can. We can start assessing by size. So, 25%, sir. Jab, sir, jab. All right, work it. Come on. All right. And he's all man. So again, part of that isn't how strong and how tough I am. It's my breathing. Does that make sense? All right, pretty cool. All right. Oh. This one is different. Paul's going to hit me with the hook. He's going to left hook, right hook, and he's going to work the body. I got to make this kind of move, right? So he's going to go and he's okay, not bad. Go again. All right, a little harder. All right. So solid. It's a different punch. It's harder to protect because this is muscly, and then we don't really do a lot of oblique work to really tighten that up. And once you get up into the ribs, there's not a lot of muscle in there. So what you're doing is all blowing out, right? You're pulling the lats out and down, right, to try to absorb that shock. Thank you, brother. Go with the hook punch to the ribs a little bit, then we'll hit the heavy right hand to the floor. All right. Has anybody figured out my magic yet? Has anybody figured out my magic, why this works for me?
Abs of steel.
Maybe. Probably something a little less, like kind of Superman muscly strength. I don't know that I have that. What's probably the truth? Why does this work so well for me?
They're breathing out.
I'm breathing out, but why is this situation different from fighting? How about that? I see it coming.
Yeah.
Isn't that powerful? All right, let's test the theory. Let's see what Paul's got. All right, 25, 50, 75, 100.
Jab?
Yeah, no, with the cross. Yep, in the body. Yeah, trying to hit anything wrong. I could take 25 to the face. I probably wouldn't take 50 very well. I'd be hurt. Go ahead. Ah, yeah, 50. A little bit more. All right, let me have it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. So, it's a beating, but how do you take that level of damage? Number one, awareness. Number two, breathing. And number three, I do a lot of ab work. So, if you get hit on an inhale, you typically get the wind knocked out of you, and then number one, you get real tired, two, you probably go down. All right. So, does that make sense? So, we're going to right hand each other a little bit. A little harder, and we're going to have some fun with this thing. Now, you're not trying to see how much pain you can take. You want to see how much confidence you can gain from absorbing an anticipated attack with good body control and good breathing. Give it a try. Isn't it legit to say, where's my limit? All right, now, who thought Paul did an excellent job? I mean, he increased, not only did he increase strength, but he increased frequency, which means it was harder for me to, right? So, I mean, he worked me pretty good. Could I probably take the same amount of frequency and an increase in power if it was Mike Tyson? Who's the guy right now? Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury hit me as hard as he could in the body. Think I would go down? It's probably a little different because he's such a big guy and he's also a professional boxer and so on and so forth. And Paul's, 160-ish? Yeah, this guy's over, 200 pounds. So bigger guys, gonna have more power. Kind of keep that in mind. All right. Raise your hand if you feel in some way, even if it's small, that you know what you can take now. All right. This will not be part of the test, but I want you to think about it. What is the difference between this punch to the body and this punch? Power, for sure. Right? What's the difference between this punch and this kick? There's a significant difference in power. I would be careful with kicks. Okay? The leg muscle and the leg mass is bigger than the arm muscle and the arm mass. If you look at what force is in physics, force is what? Mass times
acceleration.
Mass times acceleration. I finally asked the question. It was like, I know that one. I'm the newest person here. I haven't been able to say I know the answer yet.
I know math.
All right. So the bottom line is that with enough mass and enough acceleration, you should create more force. Doesn't that make sense? The legs are going to be able to do that. When you're fighting today, I encourage you to take a few leg kicks. Right? So Joel gives me a little round kick block today. That's just what that's about. He gives me a little front kick. Right? I give him some. Right? Let's see what he wants to, he can decide what he wants to take. You can defend. Right? Maybe take a couple of those. Right? Don't be afraid of it. And by the way, what if Joel does hit me a little harder than I thought and I'm hurt? What do? Yeah, hey, hold on. Let me catch my breath. I take a knee, I walk to the side, and I catch my breath. You're not going to be dead. Somebody understand that? No one's going to be trying to hit you so hard that it's going to threaten your life in this training environment. Not today. Maybe another day. Give it a try. Everybody grab a mouthpiece. Make sure you've got your gloves. If you need shins, now's the time to grab those.